Hi guys, for joining me for Reverent. Sorry. Very much. Let's see if this works now. I think. Hope this works better this time. Sorry guys. YouTube is telling me that there's not enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I have no idea what that means. I am extremely sorry if you're having issues, because I honestly don't know what that means. So, I am very sorry if you're having trouble. I don't know why. um, anyways, I hope that you're being able to see this, but welcome to Reverent Readings tonight. If you are new, what Reverent Readings is a nightly devotional that I do. I do it every weeknight at 9:30. So tell all your friends to come. It's the same link every night. So you can just copy the link in your bar at the top of your screen and send it to your friends and tell them to join us every weeknight at 9:30 for devotional. And the devotional book that I am using is called Horse Tales from Heaven, and it's by Rebecca Ondov. And it's just a really great book. Rebecca used to be a guide on pack trips, and so she's had a lot of experiences that are really neat. So, also, I just wanted to let you guys know tonight I have a very special guest. Daisy's gonna help me with the reading tonight. She's my buddy. She's gonna help me out tonight. So, anyways, thank you all for coming. And to get things started, I'm just gonna tell you guys, or ask you guys to please go check out my Facebook page, like my Facebook page. I post updates on there about videos and everything, so go check it out. There's a link in the description for that. Go like it so that you can see everything that I post on there and you can stay up to date with what's going on. Also, please check out my blog. There is a link in the description for that, so go check that out. And there's a very special link in the description for a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime. Click the link down there, get a free 30-day trial, which it has so many benefits. Please go check it out. And when you sign up through that link, you are supporting this channel. Last thing, please hit the subscribe button down below. It's that red button that says subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss when I post videos. I post all kinds of videos besides this, so please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss when I post those. So we are going to go ahead and get started tonight with our devotional reading. And tonight's devotional is called Midnight Ride. And the Bible verse says, "When I look at the night sky and see the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars you have set in place, what are people that you should think about them? Mere mortals that you should care for them. Yet you made them only a little lower than God and crowned them with glory and honor." Psalm 8, 3-5. I also just wanted to let you guys know before we get into the reading to, at any time during tonight's devotional, after the devotional, use the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen to share anything that you'd like to add, any thoughts that you had, just expound on something, any questions. Use that chat box, and if you're not watching live, please use the comment section down below, or if you're uncomfortable using the YouTube, then you can contact me on Facebook on my Facebook page, and I can see that also from the stream. So please feel free to do that, and we'll go ahead and get started. It was a dark and cool September night in the forest, so dark that I couldn't see my hands holding the reins. The sun had set, and neither the moon nor the stars had come out. The damp air groped through my wool jacket. The night was so still I could barely hear my breathing. Only the sound of my saddle horse's hooves plodding along the trail echoed through the pines. Tonight was the first time I'd been riding the 14 miles to camp through the mountains at night, and alone. I didn't know those miles would change me. I was meeting up with the rest of the crew who had ridden in earlier today. Our goal was to put the finishing touches on setting up the hunting camp, cut and mark trails, and stack firewood so everything would be ready when we brought in guests next week. Because I had a stack of paperwork to finish, I'd sent the guys ahead and told them I'd be tomorrow. At 8 o'clock, I licked the last envelope and was too energized to camp. I decided corrals at the saddle on Amarillo. With a tug, I tightened the cinch and then stepped into the stirrup, just as the mountains. The whole world appeared. The pitch-black forest engulfed me. The sound of leather rubbing noise as I gently moved side to side in rhythm. I couldn't see them. I brought my hand up to my face and waved again. I couldn't detect any. I felt the muscle. Wasn't the smartest thing I've done, not telling anybody I was out. Before, when I'd trail at night, I'd always had someone to talk to. The wilderness. My confidence eroded. Night air. I know where we are. Other side, and then we tipped uphill. I fretted. Civilization seemed a lifetime. Okay, let's see if that works better. I'm so sorry about all the trouble, guys. I'm extremely sorry. I don't know why this is happening. Okay, I think that's working now. Got it. Okay, let's keep going. I'm so sorry about that. Let's see, where were we? Let's back up a little bit. Okay. Amarillo's body tipped downhill. He gathered his hindquarters underneath him to slow his pace. I leaned back. As he wove around a hill and into a gully, the gurgling song of a creek floated through the night air. I know where we are. It's Yellow Jacket Creek. Amarillo's horseshoes clattered on pebbles. He splashed to the other side, and then we tipped uphill. I fretted. It's going to be a long 3 hours to camp. I already felt like I'd been in the saddle forever. Civilization seemed a lifetime away. The creek was only 45 minutes into the ride. The darkness had stripped everything from me. My vision, my sense of direction, and my balance. The further I rode, the more insignificant I felt. Amarillo's body leveled out. I could feel the presence of a rock wall on my right side and a light breeze with the feeling of nothingness on my left. Okay, we're riding along the cliff. I straightened in the saddle and gripped my reins. Take your time, boy, I encouraged. The sound of Amarillo's steps drifted across the valley 50 feet below. A small stone dislodged by his foot fell off the trail and plunged down the cliff. Ping, ping, ping. The bottom was so far down that it seemed to take forever before the sound stopped. I braced myself, holding my balance in the center of the saddle. Finally, on both sides of me, I heard the breeze lightly whispering through the pines. Okay, we're back on the flats. I breathed a sigh of relief. I tipped my head back and stared into the sky. The first star twinkled from millions of miles away. Then a few more appeared. Soon the Milky Way was studded the sky. I frowned. I am such a small part of this galaxy. The moon glowed from behind a mountain to the east. The sky transformed from black to a deep cobalt blue. As the full moon rose, the trees seemed to grow taller, towering over me, their tops outlined against the sky. I felt small, like a speck of dust. I looked at the moon. If anyone is standing on the moon, I sure wouldn't know it. They'd just be a tiny dot invisible to my eyes. And then I thought of God sitting in heaven and looking at the earth. Lord, who am I? I'm merely one person riding her horse down a trail in the middle of the night, somewhere on the enormous planet in the Milky Way galaxy. God's resounding voice echoed through my spirit. You're significant to me. I created you. I felt like saying, I know, but did I really? I could quote all the right scriptures and say the correct words, but if I believed, why did I question it sometimes? It was because the words were just in my head. My heart hadn't. God's voice came to me again. As I wiggled around, getting comfortable, I leaned back, relaxed. A cow howled, its eerie call drifted over the mountain. A cool breeze rustled through the pines. From across the valley, another coyote me by the hand and led me into his theater. The curtain had been raised. Night, for the angle of the brilliant moon, the tall shadow of Amarillo and me on the trail. Instead of feeling dwarfed and small, I laughed and held my arms at angles, creating funny-shaped shadows. My loneliness and fear had vanished. Small clearing. The silvery moonlight illuminated several deer munching on grass. One lifted its head and watched us ride by before nonchalantly returning to eating. The trail led into a long, straight corridor through the forest. An owl hooted, hoo, hoo. I heard a whooshing sound overhead and glanced up. The hunting bird swooped down 100 feet in front of me and snatched dinner. It flew to a nearby treetop. In the moonlight, I watched it eat as I rode past. The next few hours passed quickly as I delightedly watched and listened as creation unfolded all around me. When Amarillo turned into the hunting camp, I tipped my head back and looked into the sky. Thousands of stars were twinkling now. I'd once heard from a friend that stars are the twinkles in God's eyes. I grinned. I knew he'd been delighted to share night with me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Lord, when I feel insignificant, please remind me that you delight in watching me enjoy this world you created. Amen. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's reading, and I am so sorry for all the trouble. YouTube gives me a lot of trouble. So I am very sorry about that. Hopefully I'll figure out why it doesn't think I'm giving it enough video. So, but if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also please chat with me in the chat box or in the comments section below. Let me know what your thoughts are. It looks like I'm not streaming anymore, so I'm extremely sorry about that. Hopefully the archive video turns out alright. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you my thoughts on tonight's reading, just for those of you who are watching the archive. If you might have seen on Facebook, if you came here from Facebook, that I shared the topic of tonight's reading, and that it was, on looking around you and just enjoying what God has put before us and enjoying the nature and everything. But I felt like there was another lesson to be learned. That is a very important lesson. We do need to take time to just smell the roses. But to me, there's another topic, and that was at the beginning of tonight's story when Rebecca started her ride in the middle of the night. She felt very alone and kind of scared. But then as she started enjoying what was around her, she wasn't alone anymore because she realized that, God is there. He's our friend and He wants to spend time with us. And yeah, a lot of times being with other people don't make us as frightened of what's around us because we're focused on them and what we're talking about. And when we're alone, we forget that we can do the same thing with God. He is there to be our friend. He wants us to just go to Him and talk about whatever we want to talk about, just as if He were your best friend. Because He is your best friend, and He wants to know what's on your heart. He wants to know what you like to talk about. He wants to know your thoughts, what you think about. And so I think sometimes we forget that we can do that. So if ever you're feeling alone, or you're feeling like you don't have any friends, or that, maybe it's you're scared of the dark, you're scared of going out at night by yourself because you're scared of what's out there. And there are scary stuff out there, but just remember that sometimes it's all in your head. And sometimes if you don't focus on it, it's not as prevalent and not as noticeable, and it doesn't make you as scared. So just remember that if you do start getting scared, go to God. Talk to Him like He's your friend, and you won't be as scared. I've done that many times before. I am scared of the dark. And I just think about other things. I pray and I ask God to comfort me and be with me and help me to not be scared, because I know that there's nothing to be scared of. And so I just go to God and I feel better. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's reading, and I'm going to go ahead and say good night. But don't forget that Reverent Readings is every weeknight at 9:30, so be sure and join me here every weeknight for a of Reverent Readings. So good night, guys, and I will see you all later.